Hello and welcome to today's Maker Lab. As you can tell, we are underwater because we have a very special shark creation that we're going to do today. We're going to make a pair of mechanical shark jaws. That's exciting for you? Stick along. You should hopefully have the materials at home already available to do this project. Now, the thing that's interesting about shark jaws is they're a lot different from ours. Our jaws, if you move your jaws, there's a hinge right here that you can feel, up, down, but it's just your lower jaw that's moving. Go ahead and try it out. Bite the person to your left. Sharks have jaws on hinges where both portions move, and they can also almost eject, not quite, but push their jaws out of their mouth so their teeth make this big bite as they come out for you, and they can tear off a chunk and swallow it. Pretty neat that they have that ability to just jump their jaws forward to take out a big bite. We don't, most creatures don't, but they do operate using the same mechanical feature, which are these hinges. We're gonna build those into our shark jaws that we do today. So, what you will need is the top of an egg carton. You can use a small one if you only use 4-count eggs. Those work just fine too, but the big ones are nice. You will need a pair of scissors. You will need something to make the hinges out of. I have a pair of brads. Hopefully you can see that. Little brads. If you don't have those, since that's not always in everybody's home, you can actually make a hinge out of paperclips. I'll show you this up close in a little bit. So, let's start, and a marker. Let's start with our jaw. So if you have your egg carton, go ahead and cut that in half with your scissors. Hey, stop that. Hey, get out of here. Forget about that. So, now that you have your two halves, you're going to want to draw your tooth line to make a jaw out of these. So, what you're going to want to do is along the outside, you're going to trace your jaw. You want the beginning portion to go maybe about 1 inch in before you start with your jagged teeth. Then once you get there, you can start making your teeth all the way around. Boom. There. Drawn all the way around the egg cartons are those jagged shark teeth. Now you're going to take your scissors and begin cutting them out. Hey, stop it. That's enough of that. That bad, huh? Now where were we? That's right, cutting out our shark jaw. All right, so we've cut out, along our lines, our 2 pieces of the shark jaw. You'll notice that I've left these flat spots along the bottom. This is going to be where we're going to make the hinge joint of the shark jaw. So let's go ahead and do that. If you have brads, these are really easy. You can poke it through, separate it down the other side to create a hinge. If you don't have brads, paper clips will do just fine. You need 1 end out so you can make a hook that we're going to poke through, and it'll work in the same way. The hinge works by attaching it to both pieces of the jaw and allowing it to rotate. So let's go ahead and poke our holes. I'm using a bamboo skewer. If you've got a toothpick or even your pair of scissors, you could do that as well. So I'm going to poke a hole in each of the jaw corners. Just like that. Another one here. Watch your fingers. If you do lose your fingers, you can always claim that a shark bit it off, and it would be mostly true. Let's poke this through. Through here as well. All right, to make this work right, you're gonna wanna bend one in a little bit to be an inner jaw, and another one out a little bit to be an outer jaw, just so they can fold up nicely. So now, you're going to line up those holes that you've made, take your brads or your paper clips and push it through the jaw. We can open and separate. I'll do one side as a brad. See how that rotates? It's a hinge that we've made. It's a cool mechanical motion you've got there. You've got two separate pieces attached by a rod through the middle, allowing them to freely rotate along it. Not dissimilar to how jaws actually work. Your jaw definitely has a hinge. All right, let's do the other side. Paper clip. Poke that through one, then poke that through the other. All right, so you can see that paper clip is attached there, also making a hinge that we can rotate along. So now, take a look how this jaw opens and closes. The reason that we left this part flat is so we didn't have teeth bumping up against the ridges to prevent the motion. So now there's all that extra room to allow the jaws to open and close because of the hinges. Congratulations, you've made a machine. And if you were to ask, well, why don't you just bend it in half and make a clasping, grabbing jaw like that? Let me show you. So here's another egg carton. I've cut little slits to make it bendable in the middle. Has a similar open and close style, but what's happening here along the middle is that every time I fold it, it's creasing a little, it's bending a little, and that process over time is called fatigue. If you have a machine that's bending at the same point over and over again, then the material in the middle eventually wears down and breaks. Obviously, that's not going to work for the bones in your jaw, so that's why we have a mechanical hinge which to do it with. So I hope you've enjoyed making jaws. No, not you. Please. Do this all day. I hope you enjoyed making jaws of sharks as this week's Maker Lab. Check us out next time, and we'll have some exciting new crafts for you at HPL at home. Goodbye.